Some atheists pose a question: is there signs and evidence in the universe of a divine design? We say, of course, there are many examples to a divine design in the universe. There are so many numerous examples that no volume of books are large enough to contain them all. For example, let's look at the insulin, a hormone that controls the glucose in our body. This hormone is secreted from the pancreas in the exact same amount of sugar that we consume after meals. Who made the two match? God. Look at the amount of power that it takes for our heart to pump blood is exactly equal to the energy needed for the heart muscles. Who made them equal? God. Let's look at the one-way valve of our stomach that prevents the influx of digestive food that would otherwise harm us. Who made this perfect design? God. Let's look at the skull bones that are left unfused at birth so the baby can easily go through the birth canal without breaking its head. If these bones were fused prior to baby's birth, it would be impossible for the baby to go through the birth canal. These bones stay unfused until the brain is fully developed. Who made us develop in such way? God. All of our nerve cells are covered with a dielectric layer, so it can convey very fast electrical signal. It is the same thing that we adopted in the invention of electrical wires. So those electrical signals does not get lost or disturbed. Who made such a perfect design? God. Let's look at the electron that revolve around the nucleus at speed of 1,000 kilometers per second, or otherwise it would collapse inside the nucleus by the force of attraction of the positive nucleus. If it wasn't for this perfect speed, the universe would have collapsed before it ever began. So, this is the ideal speed for forming an atom. Who made this perfect speed? God. When two atoms of hydrogen combine, 0.7% of the hydrogen mass turn into energy. If this mass was 0.6 instead of 0.7, the proton would have not combined with the neutrons, and the universe would have remained in the form of hydrogen, and none of the other elements would have ever formed. If the mass converted to energy was 0.8 instead of 0.7, the fusion would have been too fast, which would lead to the disappearance of the hydrogen immediately from the universe, making life impossible. That's why the figure have to be between 0.6% and 0.8%. Who perfected this? God. After germination, the plant buds tend to go up directly to the light source, whereas the roots tend to go to the ground. This is because the buds are highly sensitive to light. All of this needed information are encoded within their seed, and the planet hormone control the upper and the lateral growth of the plants and the direction of the roots. Ironically, when you eat a delicious fruit, you would throw the dry, tasteless seeds. Why? This was definitely arranged and designed by a creator, allowing the disposal of a tasteless fruit seed as a way for it to pass its genes to all over the earth, giving you a beautiful taste of the fruit and at the same time hiding the gene in the core of a smooth, dry seed that is unattractive. And once this seed sticks to the ground, it starts quietly transforming itself into branches and roots. All of this takes place in a planet that has no cognition. So I'm asking you, who adjusted the information for those deaf, mute fruit, and who adjusted the amount of sugar of the fruit so it would be appealing to your taste bud? Who made the seed unappealing so you would dispense it and throw it away? Who loaded the seed with sufficient genetic information to create a new planet with all of its details and function? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "We did not create the heaven and the earth, and between them aimlessly." This is the assumption of those who disbelieve. So woe to those who disbelieve from fire. The more we ponder and look, the more we realize the design and the wisdom of this creation. If you have questions about Islam, ask a Muslim.